Welcome back from that short break. This is still the GAvel. It was a week of visits, courtesy calls to the President of the Senate and the Deputy President. Both leaders of the Senate visited President Muhammadu Buhari also. Our next report captures it all.
The Senate press corps, made up of over 50 members of different media organizations, first visited the Deputy Senate President in his home. Senator Ovie Omoagege began by appreciating the leadership of his party, the All Progressive Congress, and the senators who voted for him.
So I want to thank them, most especially in my own case, the 68 of them. Should I say 67 of them, including myself, who felt, notwithstanding certain issues that were raised, felt that they should give me the opportunity to serve in this capacity.
He, however, promised to be non-partisan despite the large number of PDP lawmakers who didn't vote for him.
There were certain commitments I made to them, and I will reiterate. I will be fair to everybody. Now, as a presiding officer, as best I'm able to, I'm no longer going to be partisan. Everybody be carried along, because the 68 votes I had were only 62 APC senators, but I was elected by 68 of my colleagues. So the support cut across party lines. So as we move forward, we are first and foremost senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, before we are senators of either APC, PDP, or YPP extraction.
The next day, the press corps visited the President of the Senate, who assured of proper legislation, insisting that there is no competition between the legislature and the executive.
As a legislature, we also have that enviable role of oversighting the executive arm of government. That much we will do, and in fact, we will even try to structure our oversight process not as we did it before. We want to see an oversight that is structured from conception to the presentation of reports by our committees to the plenary of the Senate at all times. We want to ensure that whoever is given a responsibility on the side of the executive discharges that responsibility. When Mr. President recruits or appoints a minister, the minister is expected to help Mr. President perform those duties assigned to him. And we are going to ensure that those who are supposed to work with us in such a fashion and manner that we are able to together deliver the services. We are not going to have unnecessary rancor or going to market to throw stones. We are going to be absolutely focused, absolutely determined to ensure that Nigerians are taken to the next level of development. In the process of governance, we are expected to work with the executive arm of government. We are supposed to have a relationship of complementarity. We are supposed to have a relationship that is based on cooperation, collaboration, synergy, and partnership. We are not in contestations, and we will not be in contestations with the executive arm of government. We are meant to serve the same people. It's one thing to be the leader of the Senate and the National Assembly, and it's entirely another thing to work and succeed. And probably that is the most difficult challenge. So while appreciating what you have done in terms of supporting us to be where we are, I want to also invite you and urge you to come along with us in this very historic and important journey to nation building.
Now, last week was a very interesting time for lawmakers in the National Assembly who are coming in for the first time. It was their very first plenary session. How did they find it? Well, this report gives us an idea. This was the first plenary session of the 9th House of Representatives following the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the House. It was also the first session for some of the newly elected lawmakers who were coming to the legislature for the first time. After the plenary session, we sought to find out from them how they will describe the experience.
Wonderful. I mean, it's an indication that the speaker we elected is ready for the job. He already hit the ground running by having 3 committees immediately set in motion. Committee on selection, so that members will be put on committees, because you know the working of the National Assembly is by committees. Committee on welfare, they need to know how we are faring, especially those of us who are new members, as well as media. I mean, we need to communicate. The Nigerians need to know what's going on, so the media will handle that. Welfare will take care of our settlement for us to prepare for optimal production, so that we'll make the necessary changes.
I'm happy being part of the 9th Assembly. Today we had a deliberation. We have a sitting to discuss issues that borders on development of Nigeria. And I can tell you, with what I've seen in the 9th Assembly, I've seen a set of people, a group of people who are determined to actually ameliorate the hardship of the people of Nigeria. I've seen a set of people who are determined to partner with other arms of government in development of the country.
Yeah, it was very interesting, very robust and very engaging. And of course, it's a very first session after the inauguration, presided by the new speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbagemiabila. So it was very engaging, very interesting, and it laid out opportunities for people to come forth with the issues that bothered them, even on the first sitting. He took motions and allowed that to go on, and took amendments and all that. So it was just very, very robust and interesting. And I think it's signaling something good for the 9th Assembly.
Very, very fine. We did a lot of things. We got up some other committees, welfare, media, selection committee, and the 4th one, which will be completed soon, is the rules. Rule and Standing Orders Committee, will be finished in a few days time. And 2 or 3 motion of public importance were moved. And we went into executive session.
The lawmakers also said they are optimistic that most members will be able to work together.
Honestly, I can tell you that with what I've seen today, it looks as if all the members have been together for like over years. Both the new and the old, they had opportunity of interfacing with each other. They had the opportunity of discussing and sharing ideas together. So settling down, I don't think it's a major problem, because most of us, within the 2 months of waiting for the swearing in, we got ourselves acclimatized with each other, we got ourselves become friendly with each other. But above all, I would tell you that the 9th Assembly is going to be a very fruitful one. It's going to be a very viable house, and it's going to be a very productive house, because I can see the burning zeal. Today, we moved the motion. A member from Abia moved the motion of national importance, very urgent motion that to deal with erosion control and other environmental impacts on the people of Abia State. And on that note, you see the entire House unanimously adopting the motion. At the same time, too, not just adopting it, but amending the motion to favor other communities that are actually impacted by floods and other environmental hazards. And with this, I can tell you that with such experience today, it means that the House is ready for business.
Well, we're settling down well. For me, I'm not new to governance. I've worked in the public sector, in the executive, and now in the legislature, so I understand how it works. So I was prepared for this before coming. Years ago, when I started the push for the elections. So I have settled down, and I am working day to day to ensure that I meet the aspirations and yearnings of my constituents from my federal constituency, my state, and indeed my country.
One challenge the newly elected lawmakers still have to contend with is settling down in the Federal Capital Territory.
For me, being a proactive and a pragmatic person, I've long settled down, because my family flew in from US and all that. So I made sure necessary arrangement was put in place. So I think I consider myself settled.
You cannot say we have settled down. And that's why we've gone on 2 weeks recess, short recess, to put our acts in order, get accommodation, get our offices, make it functional, get our secretaries, our aides, come into town, they try to get their accommodation and settle properly. We hope and believe that in 2 weeks' time, we will have been able to complete that. And we will now start earnestly.
The National Assembly has adjourned plenary till the 2nd of July. When they resume, it is expected that the offices of lawmakers and other facilities they need to work will be ready and they can get down to work. It will be interesting to see how this 9th Assembly will distinguish itself in the days ahead. That's something to look forward to. It's at this point that I will be taking my leave. Thanks for staying with me. I am Lanre Lasese. Take care.